Hey, we're going to have a look at the G9th chords, and the great thing about this is they're a bit weird. So we can, when you start playing around with a weird chord or something that you haven't looked at before, you can get some really new, interesting melodies and interesting things going on that can often turn into a song or can add to a song. So let's dive right in. We'll start with probably the, I guess most recognisable one. So with our G chord, all right, it's a nice G major. We take, all right, let's look at our first note that's repeated here on the bottom string and move it up 2 frets. So pretty standard ninth procedure. Now, beautiful. So that's a really high ninth, so it's ninth on the second octave. All right, so that gives us, all right, here's one way to do it. Now, when we look at it as well, we can go, okay, there is another ninth here because we've got a G, and a G has that note repeated 3 times. So we've got our G there, and it repeats here. So you could get something crazy going on like this. So little finger on the bottom, your first finger on the 2nd fret there, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret on the G, hitting that 9th, and something different, okay? So you notice how using that 9th in different spots gives it a different sound. So again, we could go, all right, where else is a 9th? Well, where's our 2nd? You could actually look at just doing, now I don't like those because they are too close together. All right, and that's why we don't normally use a 2nd, but there you go. Technically it's there. So we've had a look at that. Now, if we go into the world of the minor, all of a sudden it gets a bit weird. So we know our minor third is this shape, okay? So we've got that minor sound happening. So there's our 1, 3, 5, and we can tuck our 2nd finger down here. So if you have a look, 1, 2, 3, and this gets a really cool sound. As you can see, that's got a totally different feel to it. So I really like that. You can play around with that. All right, so this is the idea behind these chords, that yes, there is a pattern to them, yet there are some shapes, but make your own, okay? Come up with something that works for you. All right, so looking at that now, we want to do a suspended 9th. Okay, so this one we've got to cut out the thirds. Now, easy enough, cutting out that 3rd down on the B string. Now, cutting out this one, we can open it up, and you've got this. But again, that 2nd note, it's just too close. So I'm going to use this one instead. So you've got this shape to it, which you might recognize, and we're going to go right up on top with that. All right. Lends itself to finger picking, but you can use this 2nd finger just touching that string to deaden it. Okay. You can see they've got vastly different tones and sounds, even to other 9th chords that you've played with. So start having a real muck around with these and going, okay, where else can I find one? And going, oh yeah, well I've got here's my octave. Can I reach out here? Oh yeah. Oh, there's a 5th. So if you do a big stretch on this, there's a nice little suspended 9th. Alright, so get the idea. Now, what happens if we then move that up even further? Right, where else could we find that 9th? So, thinking about it, we've got can you reach this one, is the question. Alright, so as you can see, that was a bit of a stretch. I think my head was halfway out. So gives you an idea. Look, find some spots and go for it. See what you can actually make out of these. We'll leave it there, and I'll see you next time.